Hello everyone. Today we'll be presenting a presentation talking about Escape from Teesside that is made by Francis Cotter, Roger Finley, and me, Travis Baca. Starting on the client brief outline, video games can be enjoyed by anyone. They engulf audiences no matter the age, gender, religion, or upbringing. A compelling and accessible medium to inform the world we live in, share experiences and tell untold stories. From puzzles to RPG, point and click to action adventure, video game developers have inspired and informed through the character and stories they portray on the screen. Throughout human history, stories of fleeing from danger and finding places of safety have always resonated with audiences. A UK charity aims to harness the amazing power of video games to invoke empathy in its players and to support the United Nations World Refugee Day, held annually on the 20th of June. They're inviting pitches from developers to create game with the theme of the journey. That helps engage and inform the player about the refugee experience, and they are open to journey being physical, emotional, historical, contemporary, in a real world or fictional setting. They have referenced popular games that have represented a journey into the unknown or the building of a new home in a new country.
For our introduction, our group will be creating a puzzle/stealth game in which the protagonist must find letters from his brother and discover secret codes in order to escape. We must work together to combine our strengths to make every aspect of the game, from its mechanics to its assets. We will have regular group meetings to ensure that everyone is on top of their work.
So we got our main influences from Dishonored and Outlast, and our art style mainly derived from Superhot and Silent Hill in terms of making it low poly, and we did this to mainly focus on the story and mechanics of the game instead of wasting all our time on the graphics and all and not actually having a game. And in terms of we've removed the combat aspect, which was inspired by Outlast, as we wanted to focus on more like stealth wise, making it more of a stealth game.
Once we started with our game, we obviously started gathering the ideas and brainstorming. So we created a wee Maya board and just started putting everything together. So after we read the brief over and discussed our ideas, we researched each aspect of what we were being asked to do and what we wrote down. And we wrote down our findings in the Maya board. I was asked to do research on other games, and my colleagues was asked to research on refugee stories based in real life to get to a point where it's similar enough to fit the game aspect that we were required to do.
When thinking about what game we would like visually, I gathered screenshots from games I'm taking inspiration from and made bullet points about what I like about them. So the two on the top are from Silent Hill and Resident Evil, and then on the bottom there's Superhot and then another low poly game I found, and I mostly Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I liked the like sort of dingy, like grungy aesthetics of them, and like how they're low poly and like the models and such look like quite low detail and like minimalist. That's what we want to go for.
We didn't want to add dialogue to this game and such, so we decided to tell the story through letters that the player will find throughout the game from the main character's brother. Um, yeah.
So our target audience will be based from 12 and upwards, so PEGI 12. While many of the games were taking inspiration from PEGI 18, ratings for their violence and bad language, we plan to make a game that's suitable for anyone over the age of 12 because we want our story to reach as a wide audience. And since we're using a low poly art style and any of the violence in the game won't be realistic looking, as well as since our main character isn't using any combat style, we'll be able to show to a younger audience and portray the story as the will be shown.
For for what platforms it's going to be on, we plan to make the game playable on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, and the Switch, as this will make it as accessible to everyone. This means that the game will support both keyboard and controller. Realistically, it will probably just be PC, but if we were like making a full game, that's ideally how we'd have it.
This is just some concept art for some of the assets that are going to be in our game. And also some mood boards we made at the start to help aid making our assets.
The mood board on the left is inspired by Frances and her main character that we have. And basically just we were looking for, since we're making a refugee style game, obviously our character has to not be all over the top, just have a basic design. On the top right, it is our enemy. This is a fictional world. We kind of went for a very funny looking enemy, as well as since it is a PEGI 12 base game. And at the bottom right, it is a concept, another character that would be in the game that you would meet at the end once you do finish the first part of the level. And as for the color palettes, we all kind of look for a darker area, darker color, because the first area that we will be in is very gloomy. And as you're aware, the Escape from Teesside is a worn, poor place where many people have lost their lives. And now it's very gloomy, where that's where we're also trying to escape, as the game says, Escape from Teesside.
The plot is Tio's journey starts from a young age. With nothing left to care for, he decides to continue to do what his parents wish they would have done, and that is be creative. A hidden place where kindness is not a weakness and everyone lives peacefully. Tio finds his way towards Big Creative, fleeing Teesside from all its misery, but along the way, he is aided by his brother's letters left for him and a mysterious person known as L.
This game is a single-player first-person game, which the player must hide from enemies as they solve puzzles and collect clues they need to help them escape and uncover the truth about Teesside. The player will be able to jump, crouch, prone, and climb around the levels, as well as interact with the items they find and add their inventory.
These are the character sketches that we finally decided on. The first one on the left will be the enemy. The one in the middle will be the smuggler. That is still a concept that you find after you finish the first level, per se. And the very right side is our main character, Tio. These are also the digital sides with the color palettes right beside them.
For the environment, the picture on the left is the like blocked out design for this whole level, and then on the right is my like drawing of like what like hypothetically what a room could look like, which has some of the assets that we created initially just like all put together to give an idea of what the game could look like.
The HUD will be kept quite simple with an item wheel and health bar and interact buttons that will come up whenever you find like a key or a page that you can pick up. Pause menu is quite standard as well, with very basic options, same as the main menu. And for the storyboards and playboards, in this first one, you'll be located in this first room, and you'll spawn in with one of the letters that you've already found from your brother. You will make your way through the level, avoiding this guard here in this slide. You will reach a key and return all the way back in this slide and unlock the door here, getting you another letter. Then you will go through again and evade the enemy once again and make it into this room. Then on the back of that letter you find in here will be an encrypted code, which you will have to solve with a whiteboard with symbols on it to coincide with the code. You would type it into the code lock here, and enter the next room, then there would be, in the first letter you picked up before the game started here, there would be part of a code that you would also find another letter for in cell 2 and in the warden's office later through here and here. And then you would also find another letter from the brother in warden's office. You'd put all them codes together here and unlock the door to reach the final room. Then there'd be one last letter on the table, and you would look, you would click a button and look at a glass pane thing, and it would reveal the last code, and you would exit.
These are also the digital forms of it completed. As for our strengths that we've decided, I consider myself to be good at traditional and digital art, so I didn't struggle with creating the assets designs. Roger, what are your strengths?
I would say just keeping the levels simple to understand was the thing I found easiest.
And I'm the same. I enjoyed making the assets and the character designs, and also whenever we're making the game design document, since I was tasked with doing the bit about the target audience when it came to making the presentation, I was able to write about that bit easy enough.
There's areas for improvement that we could definitely talk about individually, such as maintaining our time better to work on our work that we are currently doing. For example, we're currently having a wee issue with the inventory system that we've all came together and tried to work on it, but I've came to a stop since we need to start working on a different piece of asset. We'll come back once we reach a different point where we have enough free time to catch back on it again and get it finished. Well, that will be the presentations. Thank you for listening, and any questions? Yes, yes we have.
How far have you came along in that?
The game's basically all modeled, just need to get the main character done, or no, the enemy done, and then that's everything modeled.
Everything's finished, but the animation of the main character, pretty much, and the enemy.
Sits in the
Bring the assets into the game and basically just connect all the Unity scripts and files to make the game start working.
and then it's just the one enemy you're trying to hide from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since
Maximum.
this is just the first level.
Very cool. The idea is we'll use the letters to find all the letters, get to the end, and get the code. That's the bubble.
The point of the game is mainly to portray a story, just to get that feel of the story. We decided on this on the letters because if you do actually look for the script, it conveys a lot of stuff that you can find out for what happened, what his family has gone through, and what his brother had to sacrifice to get to that point.